Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd. So my friends over at yarnspirations.com. This is the second time filming the Bernat Herringbone Crochet Blanket. Now the original video that I did do, I am going to keep up, but I actually used light yarn and people are pretty upset about it. So, and I would agree with that. When things end up on YouTube, it actually ends up as a different color than what it appears on my screen here. So I'm refilming this today. I'm using a 6mm size a J hook, and I'm going to be using Red Heart with Love today instead of Bernat blankets so that you can see the stitch definition even more. So here's the pattern here. If you would like to change the size of this blanket, it is multiples of 6 and then plus 8. So 6, 6, 6, 6, 6. And when you're satisfied with the width, just add 8 and you will have the balance. So when we're going to work through this, you're going to notice that there is a stitch diagram on the 3rd page. And so we're gonna start off by doing the body first, and then these strips here, those are added on afterward, and then you have the fringe that is then added. So without further ado, let's just get right into this thing and let's begin and let's start our journey now. So either chain 110 to start or do your multiples of 6 plus 8. To begin our journey, either chain 110 or do multiples of 6 plus 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. There's one multiple, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. There's another one, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Once you're happy with the width of it, which you'll obviously want to go bigger depending on what you're doing, of course, you're going to want to add 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. So get your first row done, or get your first chain done, and we'll move on to row number 1. Okay, let's get ourselves all the way across this chain. So let's begin by just going second chain from the hook. So just count back, so 1 and 2, and get the second back and go to the back hump because it will look nicer, and you will want to single crochet there. Then chain 1, skip 1 chain, and then single crochet into the next. And you're gonna do that all the way across. So chain 1, skip 1, 1 single crochet in the next. Please do that all the way across for row number 1. So I'm coming all the way across, so I'm just chaining 1, skipping 1, and the last one will be 1 single crochet. So if you're you will end on the right counts if you're counting correctly. So you're gonna turn your work and let's begin row number 2. The repeat pattern for this one is going to be 5 and 6, but we have to get there first. So let's move on to row number 2. In row number 2, we're going to do exactly what we just did in row number 1. So chaining up 1, 1 single crochet in the first single crochet, and then chain 1, and then skip the chain 1 space and single crochet in the next, and then chain 1, skip the next space, and then single crochet in the next single crochet. So it's almost gonna look like a fillet, or a fillet graph if you would like to look at it from that perspective. So just continue to do that all the way across, and I'll see you at the end of row number 2. So I'm now at the end of row number 2. Turn your work, and now row number 3, we're now going to start the fun stuff in being able to make the herringbone stitch come down. So let's begin that next. Let's begin number 3. You're going to chain up 1, and you'll do 1 single crochet in the first single crochet. You're then going to chain 3, so 1, 2, 3, and look at the fillet crochet like as in gapping spaces in order to figure out where to go next. So here's the next space, we want to skip that space, and here's the next space, and we want to play within that space. So we're gonna play within the space, this one down, so just not this one but this one, and you're just going to slip stitch around that chain 1 space. Then chain 3, so 1, 2, 3, and you're going to skip the next space and then just single crochet into the next single crochet. Okay, so let's go again. So chain 3, so 1, 2, 3, skip the next space out, and then go to this one down here. So it's the second one over, slip stitch, and then chain 3. So 1, 2, 3, skip the next space available, and then just go into the single crochet that's right after it. And then chain 3, so 1, 2, 3. There's the first space, go to the second, and then go to the one down. Slip stitch, once you get more in your hand, it's easier to manipulate. So 1, 2, 3, skip the next space, and then single crochet the next, and then finally you'll end up coming near to the end. So just put me on pause if you're not ready for that. For those ready to go on, we're going to chain 3. So 1, 2, 3, skip the next space, go to the second and go 1 down, slip stitch, and then chain 3. So 1, 2, 3, and if your counts are right, you're skipping the next space out that's available to you and single crochet in the next. And that's what it looks like. So it'll look more stable in just a few rows from now. Let's turn our work and begin row number 4. Before we begin number 4, this is the good side of the project now. We've just determined that because we put the herringbones on this side. So we're going to turn our work, so every even row now from this point is going to be a wrong side. You're going to chain up 1 and just do 1 single crochet into the first one, and then chain 1, and I want you to come in all the way to the next single crochet that's right here. So right where the herringbone is attached, you're going to play within the single crochet on either side, so 1 and 2, to do what we're about to do. So we've already chained 1 coming out of this, so we're just going to double crochet there. Okay, and this is the space and the herringbone is attached right underneath it on the other side. Chain 1 and double crochet the next single crochet. So you're skipping right over that space. And then chain 1, and then just coming up over to the next spot here. We just gotta watch where everything is going. So this is the herringbone where it comes up as a single crochet, and you'll single crochet that. So these double crochets are in behind, building up the space in behind. So let's continue along. So chain 1 and look to where they are attached right there, and you're going to play within the single crochets on both sides. So I've already chained 1, so you're just going to double crochet first, chain 1, and go to the next single crochet, and then put a double crochet there, chain 1, and then here just it's leaning forward, so just push it back up and just single crochet. See that? So we continue that going. So chain 1, and then you're going on the single crochets on both sides of where the herringbone is attached. If you're not sure, just pull it apart and you can see it. Chain 1, and now this is the top of the herringbone. Chain 1, and so when you come up to the very end, you're just double crocheting at the end, chain 1, double crochet to the other side, chain 1, and then just kind of fold this back up and single crochet. So that just fills in the spaces in behind, and that was row number 4. So rows 5 and 6 are now the repeat. So 5 is going to be making the herringbone again, and 6 is going to be exactly what we just did here. So let's begin number 5. So chain up 1 and 1 single crochet into the first single crochet, and then chain 3. So 1, 2, 3, and what you need to do is just peel back this herringbone here, and this is the space, so you want the space directly underneath it, and you're going to slip stitch and then chain 3 and then come back up to the top. So you see where these are coming together? It's this one. See? So it's gonna match. So chain 3, so 1, 2, 3, look for the middle space and then look for the one down. Slip stitch, chain 3, and then single crochet in the next single that's available to you. So 1, 2, 3, look for the next space, go one down. It's almost like a game of Battleship. 1, 2, 3, single crochet back up, and 1, 2, 3, middle and down, and then eventually the party will run out at the end of the row. So 1, 2, 3, and single crochet in the last row, and that was row number 5. So let's turn our work and do row number 6, which is the end of the repeat. So turn and let's do 6. So 6, we are going to maintain what we already know. So you can see these spaces here, see the double crochets, so you're aligning those together. So you're just gonna chain up 1, you'll put 1 single in the first, chain 1, and now that it's easier to see, you'll see the double crochets, so you're gonna double crochet the double, chain 1, and then double crochet the next double, and then chain 1, and then you're going to single crochet the next one that's the top of the herringbone. Okay, chain 1 and just get your double or your double crochets. Chain 1, another double crochet, chain 1, and then single the top. So this one's kind of leaning over, so you just got to pull it back. Chain 1, do your double, chain 1 and double, chain 1 and single, just pull back, chain 1 and double, chain 1 and double, and then the party's running out, so you're gonna be at the end. So chain 1 and single at the end. I'm going to show you repeating then rows number 5 and 6 just to make sure you got it, and you can see it's showing up here. So let's begin 5 and 6 one more time. I'm gonna stay silent for 5 and 6, so just start with a chain 1 and then single crochet in the first, and then work your way through it. So at the end of the row, turn and do number 6. And this concludes row number 6. So you can see it's all just adding up, and it's pretty awesome. So let's talk about this pattern even more, and let's go back to the pattern. So at this point we need to do this until it measures approximately 52 inches. It doesn't matter what kind of yarn you're using. 52 is a stable number, so if the Bernat blanket will get there faster than this yarn here, but of course the thickness in the hook determines it. So you want to finish off, it says to finish off on the wrong side, which is what we're going to do, and then it states to fasten off at this point. So you can either fasten off at this point, or you can just leave it on at this moment and then continue into the top edge, and then you can do the bottom edge afterward. So it actually we want to get a panel piece that is about 4 inches in length. To do that, all we're just going to do is that we're just going to chain up 1, and we're going to evenly spread out single crochets. So in the spacing it's 1 single crochet. In the double crochet it's 1 double crochet. So each stitch and space across is going to be 1 single crochet essentially, and this is going to start you on row number 1 of the top edging, and the same thing will exist on the very bottom piece as well. So when you're coming up all the way across the top, make sure that you just evenly space your single crochets in, and this is normal the way that it looks. So we're going to turn your work, and you're just gonna go back and forth until it measures 4 inches. So just chaining up 1 and just do 1 single crochet in each back and forth until 4 inches. You may want to take a note on how many rows that is, just in case you want the balance on the other side, just in case for whatever reason you don't have the right number. That's something that I would do for myself, just because the balance would bother me if it wasn't in balance. So what I want you to do is just go back and forth single crochet until about 4 inches. I'll quickly review the bottom side, and then we'll quickly review the fringe that needs to be done. So let's just say that I have 4 inches of that done. You're just gonna turn it on the other side, keeping the right side facing up, get your yarn and attach on the bottom side. So again, equally space out your single crochets across. Any stragglers that you have, you wanna hide those in as you go. So spacing and also the bottom side of the single crochet just need a single crochet as you're working your way across. So start here and then I will talk to you in just a second about going back. So I'm just coming up to the end of the row and just turn, and then you just want to go back and forth like you did on the other side just until about 4 inches, and just chain 1 and single crochet back and forth as you go. So I'm going to finish off at the end of this row here because we still have the trim to do, so we need to go all the way around just one time just to make sure that all the sides are then also filled in, and we'll be doing that in just a moment. So continue to go back and forth for 4 inches. Okay, once you have your 4 inches done on both sides of this whole thing, you're going to circle this whole panel once. So starting in the top corner, you're just gonna go in. So corner stitches will each have 3 single crochets in them so that you can turn. So you might as well start right away and just put 3 single crochets in the first one. So 1, 2 and 3, and so that'll be done by the time you get back around. And then it's just 1 single crochet in each of these all the way to the next corner. And when we go down the sides, you have to equally space out those stitches as you work down the side. I wouldn't even bother to count them, just make it look good because there's nothing else that's going to be added to it, so the counts really are irrelevant at that time. It just make it look like it's flat. So I'll see you at the first corner. So I'm on the last stitch, so I want to put 3 here so that I can turn, and now working down the side, just equally space out your single crochets. So if you're starting to see that it's pulling like this, it means that you're going too quickly, and if you're seeing a ruffling action happen, it means that you're going too slow. So just equally space out. I would stay within the stitch work itself. Don't go into major spaces, like don't go into the space here. Stay within the on the chain work itself, and therefore it'll look more professionally done as well. So just continuing to go, and you'll go all the way down until you run into the next corner. So this is the corner, so 1, 2 and 3 will turn your corner, and then just continuing along the side. So when I lay this flat, I have enough experience that I can do that. So if I lay it flat, it should be sitting flat and should not be ruffling. So you're gonna go all the way around in that same motion, and then we'll talk about fringe in a moment. When you get all the way around, you've already done the first corner as we put 3 into it when we started. So you just want to slip stitch here, and let me show you just a fastening off technique. So you're just going to snip your yarn, any yarns that you will have, recommending that you throw it through a tapestry needle. Especially the Bernat blanket, it can unweave itself unless you put it through a tapestry needle. So do this and put it through and turn it to the back side of the work and just drag it underneath the stitch work. And this works also for Bernat blanket as well. So drag it underneath, go a different path back to where you came from, and then finally back in the other direction like that. So 3 times is a charm, and it'll get hidden in any tails that you have. That's the best way to get it, and therefore it'll be completely gone. Okay, so let's talk about fringe. It's really quite easy. So let's talk fringe. You're going to take 1 strand and you're going to measure it to be about 14 inches in order to have this, and you're thinking it's really quite long, but once you start manipulating it, you realize that it's the right distance. So once you have 14 inches, I would measure it out if I were you. Each one of the fringes is just 1 strand on its own. So let me just do, so if I do this, I just kind of lay it out, and I kind of just get the same kind of dimension. Because Bernat blanket is so much thicker, it only needs 1 strand, but if you're doing the smaller stuff, you may want to put 2 or 3 or 4 strands together. So fold the strand in half, okay, and get it relatively in half, and what you want to do is come along the edge, okay, the top, or the top and the bottom, and you want to start off and you want to come from the back side through the stitch work to the front. It's so important that you do that, and you're just going to pull this through and pull enough so that you can get a loop, and use your fingers and split it and pull that strand through. The reason why you're going to the back side to pull through, see this loop? It'll stay on the front side of the work, making it look finished. Okay, so just take your strands, fold it in half, go to the next one from the back, pull it. So you'll do this all the way across. Of course with this size of yarn you would want to do more. So the same thing exists. You just put your strands together and pretend they're all one unit. Now once you get all the way across, I would do both sides of your project first and then lay it out. And I usually take a steamer or a kind of spray bottle and let it sit flat. And then what I'll do is that I'll use my scissors. So don't worry about trying to get them all perfectly even now. But once you have it all done, you'll just drag your scissors across and you'll snip it and you'll all get the same length this way. Okay. And so you'll want to do that. So you may want to take a measurement of what that is and repeat it to the other side. So this is how you do the Bernat Herringbone Crochet Blanket using a different color yarn, and hopefully this is satisfactory for you today. Have a good day. We hope to see you again real soon.